What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I just wanted to jump in really quick and give you all some RHOA updates. I'm sorry that I'm late. I'm a little bit behind today, but I'm here, okay? Better late than ugly, in the words of Kenya Moore. So come on in the room. Go ahead and hit the like button for me as you come into the room. Happy Saturday, happy weekend, happy long weekend. Happy Memorial Day, honey. Hey, Aaliyah Henry, I see you was in here. All right. So we got some things we need to discuss today. A few things. Number one, we have Kandi. Kandi Burris has shared some sad news with us. And yeah, let's talk about it. Hey, JG, I see you, boo. Hey, Raina. Welcome, babes. Some sad news from Kandi. And let's talk a little bit about this Drew. I know I'm late. Let's talk a little bit about this Drew Sidor and Carlos King interview. I do have some notes. And we can also discuss Brit Edie's clapback. Hey, JC. Hey, Chi-Town Niger girl. Hey, gorgeous. Champagne is in hand. So lovely to hear your voice and be graced by your beauty. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. That brought a smile to my face. Hey, Sonia's Boots. My people are in here, okay? Exactly. All right, I love it. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with Kandi first, okay? I'm going to share my screen and give me 1 sec, y'all, to get this situated. Something that I didn't realize in my last stream, when I was sharing my screen for Drag Race, I guess I didn't realize when I shared my screen, you guys could see me at the same time. So just let me know when I'm sharing this, can you see Instagram and me at the same time, okay? Hey, W Payne, if we can call it a clapback, child. Right. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Beautiful people. My people are in here. Okay. I just got a new laptop. I'm waiting for it to come, so I'm really excited about that. You guys were able to help me get a new laptop, so shout out to y'all. Okay, 1 second, y'all. Okay, when I pull up Instagram, let me know if you all can see my face and also Instagram. I'm curious as to how it's configured when you all see it. So drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me and Instagram right now. You see me? Hey, Christian. Hey, Kevin. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Bonnie Scotch has the shadiest roar. Thank you, Christian. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get into what Kandi had to say a little bit. This is via All True Tea, so shout out to All True Tea.
So I'm emotional with y'all, so let me move on past that. Because, I like to have fun on Amazon Live. I don't like to deal with the same things. You know what I mean? The old so, trying to manage that. If anybody's ever dealt with someone with somebody in your family going through that, it's worse, and everybody is like, it's not easy. So it's a time. It's a time. To get all emotional with y'all, so let me move on past that. Because, I like to have fun on Amazon Live. I don't like to deal with the same things.
Okay. Could y'all? Oh, something is wrong with the damn. It's choppy and slow. Okay. Y'all can't really hear her. My bad, y'all. All right, I'm gonna just give y'all the gist of what was said. My bad about the audio, y'all. Okay. Kandi, can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? So basically, Kandi was saying that, Aunt Bertha was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and she could barely get the words out of her mouth. That's just really sad. And the thing is, too, like, Aunt Bertha has given us like so many moments, like not only on just our HOA, but on Kandi's spinoff shows, on what was the name of the show that Kandi had for her restaurant? Kandi and the Gang. I love to see her on there. And then Kandi also had a different show. This was way back when it was kind of like they were on vacation together and she got all of the family together and they were kind of like in this cabin. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, Aunt Bertha was my favorite of OLG. Like, she gave us a one-liner that we still use on the regular. It was a scheme that Todd had set up to come to us with the bullshit. Okay. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Aunt Nora was saying to Todd, for this restaurant or whatever they were doing. I don't know if it was like the opening or like some promo or whatever, but she was saying, hey, we can take selfies with people and we can charge people $5 per picture. And Todd was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And Kandi was like, well, Aunt Bertha, what are you going to do? You can bake a cake. And Aunt Bertha was like, I'll be damned. The way she delivered that line was just so genius and so perfect, but she was dead ass serious too. Like, I don't know if you all have ever dealt with anybody who has dealt with Alzheimer's, but I personally have. My great grandmother, God rest her soul, she had Alzheimer's and she helped raise me. And towards the later years, it was really, really hard. It was really hard on us as a family. So all of my love goes out to Kandi and the family. And that's just tough, man. Exactly, JC. Aunt Bertha is a legend. Absolutely. And an icon. Yes. Right, Kevin. The way she delivered it, I'll be damned. Like, come on. It's Aunt Bertha. And it's just so weird because it's like this person who was so full of life and they have like their legend and their stories and all of these things, right? Children, whatever. And then for whatever reason, Alzheimer's gets a hold of them and they are just not the same person anymore. Like that, like, it's such a mind fuck, y'all. Like it's really, really hard. And the thing is too, is like Kandi was so close to Aunt Bertha. Because I think Aunt Bertha, who was the one who was cooking at Kandi's restaurant? The real thick, light-skinned one. Was that Aunt Bertha's son or grandson? Anyway, I think Kandi helped raise him. So their family is really like this, and I cannot imagine what they are going through. Hey, everybody coming in the room. Welcome, y'all. I'm so happy that everybody is coming in on this Saturday. I didn't even know if y'all would want to like jump in with me and discuss this Drew Sidora interview. I took care of my dad until he passed. He had dementia and cancer. Alzheimer's and dementia are horrible diseases. God's number one. I'm so sorry, my love. I really, really am so sorry. Hey, Jabril, thank you so much for joining. Jabril is a new member. I think you were member number 20, so shout out to you. And that is linked in the description for anybody who wants to join the membership. It is $5 a month for just $5 a month. It is a cup of coffee. You can support the doll, you know, help me pay some of the YouTube bills around here. You know, the Peacock account, the Philo, you know, the things that I need. Working in healthcare, I can personally say cognitive decline is unforgiving no matter the person. Wish them all the best. I absolutely agree with that, Robbie 24 Kano. I think her diagnosis was a scheme set up by Todd. He did it. And here's the other thing. Speaking of Todd, Christian, so I couldn't find the clip for some reason. It's not like y'all can hear it anyway, but I'll just, you know, paraphrase, excuse me. So in any case, Kandi was basically saying that Mama Joyce is still over there giving Todd hell. How long have they been married now? It's been I want to say it's been at least a decade, right? Y'all, that is crazy. And listen, here's how I feel. And this is a personal thing, right? When in relationship with another person, I am very, very sensitive and very touchy, right? When it comes to situations of how you handle other people talking to me or treating me a certain kind of way, right? I don't expect to be in a relationship with somebody and their mother, their sister, their whoever is coming for me, okay? I was dating this guy. So a little bit of history about me really quick. Just so when I bounce around geographically, nobody is confused. So born and raised in Brooklyn, okay? My mom's job transferred when I was in high school. So I went to high school partially in Brooklyn, and then I started my sophomore year in Dallas. So I have a little bit of familiarity with Dallas, Texas, okay? Anyway, I was dating this guy in high school, and then I moved back to Dallas a little bit later in my late 20s, and then he and I, like, you know, we spun the block on each other, whatever. Anyway, I was meeting his sister for the first time, and she was very pressed about me for some reason. I feel like there were a few things tied up in that, right? I feel like a big one that was tied up in it was her Christianity. And I did not like, you know, we went out to, I don't know, we went to get something to eat somewhere. And I guess I can't remember how the conversation came up about me being a member of the LGBT community, but she was like interrogating me, like asking me like, oh, do you still deal with girls? And I'm just like, that's none of your business. I'm dealing with your brother now. Like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? You know, so I'm just very sensitive to people's family fucking with me or whatever the case is. Now with Todd, it's a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Because Kandi has a bag. So I feel like there's a lot more concessions, a lot more liberties that you might give somebody. But listen, everybody has a line. I absolutely have mine. I don't want nobody's family talking to me crazy. I also feel like this. If your family is big and bad enough to talk to me a certain kind of way, they can get cussed out, and so can you. That's just how I am. I don't tolerate fuckery from people's family. I'm just very sensitive to that. Like, you need to check their asses and get them in line, or I'm out. I need to feel protected. And I don't feel like that is something that is unreasonable. Oh, the chat was moving fast for a second here. Hold on, y'all. At least 10 years, Chi-Town Niger Girl says. They've been married at least 10 years. Ridiculous. Oh my God, Mama Joy, simmer down. It's definitely been a decade. Todd has actually proven to be a decent man. I have some controversial opinions about Todd, okay? I know a lot of people feel like Todd is a good man, Savannah, but how should I say this? When people say things, I get like, they're like dings, like little alarms, little bells that go off in my head. And those bells and alarms went off for Todd, okay? The way he treats Kayla, his eldest daughter, No, no, ridiculous and out of order. I don't like the way he talks to or treats Kayla. They had got into it and they weren't speaking for whatever reason, and he didn't even want to give her any. Here's the thing. Kandi, I think, wanted to give her birthday money and he was telling her not to. Excuse me? She can't even get no fucking money on her birthday, but you digging through Kandi's purse. I don't like stuff like that. So after that, I was kind of side-eyeing Todd, and listen, maybe Mama Joyce has a reason to. I'm just saying, you know, there has to be boundaries with the disrespect. And I don't think that Kandi has ever enforced proper boundaries. And I've said this before on my channel. I definitely have friends with baby daddies and husbands that I don't care for, but there's only so much that I can say and do. And I'm damn sure not going to disrespect their spouse. Period. You know, so listen, after I saw the way Todd was moving with Kayla, I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Let me see what else y'all are saying. Hey, Lakia. Hey, Carl. I did not like his interaction with Kayla. That turned me off. Yeah, I agree. I'm saying decent to be in a middle-aged Atlanta man. Oh, he isn't for me personally. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, too. His whole reasoning was like, oh, you know, I grew up in New York. We have that hustler mentality. I grew up in New York, too. But that doesn't mean that I want my girl child to struggle. Why would I want my girl child or any child of mine, period, girl, or but especially my girl child, to have to struggle and fight and scrap and hustle? If she, I mean, you have married into a family of means, break her off a little bit, hook her up with some connections. Like, of course, she's going to work at the end of the day, but like, why shouldn't life be easy if it can be? Like, you just want to make her life hard just because your life was hard. I don't understand that mentality when it comes to parents. I do not get it. Listen, I don't have children, but if I had children and I was in a position to help them, they would never struggle. Of course, there's a balance of teaching them the value of working for things and working for your own and whatever like that. But like, why? It just doesn't make no damn sense. Yeah, Jabril, he's just being petty, ridiculous. That is how a lot of Black parents are. That is how a lot of Black parents are. Excuse me. It's giving bitter. I suffered, so now you do too. Exactly. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much for joining. You said you were going to catch the replay. All right, I'll see you later, babe. I hope to see you in the comments. All right. Black folks are always struggling. Why make her struggle when there is abundance? It's silly. Embrace ease and comfort. Thank you. Todd makes Kayla's life hard because of Mama Joyce. He's trying to prove a point through Kayla. Oh, Lord, you think so? All of the well-adjusted adults I know in my life came from loving it. Come on, wake that one up. Wake that up. There's nothing wrong with tenderness and gentleness and love, and like there's nothing, like it doesn't have to be, it's a hard knock life, for it does not have to be that way for your children, especially if you came up that way. Like hence he had an issue with Kandi giving Riley a luxury car. He's ridiculous. Why would he have an issue? Child, let me get off of Todd. Anyway, y'all, that was the bit of Kandi news. We're sending love out to Kandi. I know that that is not easy to deal with. I really, really do feel for them, because Aunt Bertha, you can tell she was like a light in that family. But anyway, y'all, let me put on my glasses. Did y'all know that I actually wear prescription glasses? I just don't wear them for my reviews. Because sometimes I feel like y'all can't really see my face real good. Like I wear permanent glasses. Born and raised in the NYC. Exactly. Hey, Bakia. And everybody's so busy trying to prove, see, y'all's generation is soft, y'all are weak, you're too sensitive. You're trying to raise a child, you just want to make someone feel Wake that one up, Aaliyah. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this young Drew and Carlos King interview, honey. So when I was looking at this, was it Thursday? I think it might have been Thursday. So I was at work, you know, trying to pull stuff for people, pull records and index files and things like that. And I was taking notes. So I had to do it by hand. I usually don't do it by hand. I usually do it in my phone. So it's half by hand and half in my phone. So here we go. You wear glasses too, Kevin? Yes. Shout out to us, Four Eyes out there. All right, let's get into it. So first things first, I have here Carlos addresses, before we get into the notes, can I say this about Drew? Can I say this really quick? I can't remember who pointed this out, but somebody pointed out that Drew is not really doing a whole lot of press like that. Not only that, she hasn't been asked to come on Watch What Happens Live as of yet, which I didn't even notice. And I find that to be very odd because Portia has been there twice. Shamea has been there twice. Drew hasn't even been there once. What is going on? I'm worried for Drew. You know, hopefully, you know, she has some things lined up, you know, where her pocketbook is good. I know she's going on tour. She did mention she's going on tour, and that's great for her. But I'm like, damn, why is she not making the rounds like everybody else? But I just wanted to say this about Drew really quick. I know that a lot of people are harsh on Drew and they have a hard time with her. They feel like she's not being her authentic self. I will say this about what I perceive. I don't know, Raina. I don't know if Andy likes Drew, but I'll say this about Drew. Drew is a person that I feel she doesn't really know who she is. My bad. I feel like Drew doesn't really know who she is. I feel like, do y'all remember that she was on what's that show? That's So Raven? She was on That's So Raven. So she started off as a child star. She started off on Disney, okay? She's also a pastor's kid, right? I feel like all of Drew's life, she has been tugged at from every direction. Look like this, dress like this, sound like this. You got to do this. I do not feel like Drew ever got a chance to fully know who she is. So I think that it's hard for her to even know how to show up. Maybe that's a part of the reason why I don't go so hard on Drew. I feel like a lot of people go hard on Drew, and I just see a woman who is trying to figure out who she is. You know what I mean? From child star to, and you start off in the business that young, there's always somebody telling you how to be, how to look, how to behave. Like you have no idea who you are. Okay. Not only that, right? Ralph has given us the timeline of when he met Drew Sidora, right? He said, hold on, let me see if I have it still here in my notes. Give me 1 second, y'all. Or maybe I have it here. The Drew and Ralph timeline is crazy. Okay, yeah, I do have it here. So they met and they got together. They were together in 3 months, a couple within 3 months, engaged in 5 months, and pregnant at 8. He trapped her. He trapped her. Okay. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first before I fully jump into this interview. Okay. Now, first things first, Carlos addresses Drew and Ralph when they met. Together in 3 months, engaged in 5, pregnant at 8. He trapped her, like I said, 2 reviews ago, I said that, and I stand on that. Okay. By the way, Drew looks so damn good. I love the bottom goals that she had in her mouth. She just had it on one side. Stunning. Stunning. Okay. I also love that that ashy blonde on Drew looks really, really good. Okay. Now, what else do I have here? Drew starts to break down, and she is realizing that it was never love between she and Ralph. She's saying that he's linking with the ops on the show, lying to her, trying to shake her pocketbook upside down, basically. Carlos King mentions this Ty rumor. Drew says that she would have accepted attention from a cardboard box, and that that the attention that she got from Ty at the time she really needed, and that Ty was a good friend. Listen, I ain't even mad at you, Drew. I ain't mad at it. Baby, Ty is fine to me. I said this in my Basketball Wives review, and I said this on a members only video that I did about, the Drew and Ty rumors. Ty is fine as hell, and she could definitely play in my face for about 8 to 12 weeks. I would allow it. I would. So I get it. She's flirty. She listens. She's cute. Have a little fun. Ralph was running the streets. And he wasn't just in Tampa. Okay? Next up, he addresses Ming Lee on Basketball Wives. Drew says that, wait, hold on, y'all. Ming Lee on Basketball Wives said that they were on the phone for 50 hours a month, and that is 3,000 minutes. 3,000 minutes is time well spent with somebody that you enjoy, as far as I'm concerned. Now, here's my thing. I'm not really a big phone person like that. I don't really love talking on the phone. I love a text and I love a voice note. Voice notes is kind of like, you're talking to somebody and you don't have to respond right away, and I can just jump in with you at a later time, whatever. Now, I have been on the phone with someone or people for multiple hours at a time, 4 or 5 hours, maybe even more, right? That is chemistry. That has only ever happened with a person that I was into and a person that I had very serious chemistry with. Otherwise, I'm not laying up on the phone with you because I have stuff to do. Like, I genuinely be having shit to do. Okay? I don't want to talk on the phone. I have a once a month FaceTime call with my friend Jade. Y'all know Jade. Jade of all Jades. She does the Jade and XD show. She does Getting Grown podcasts. Did she do something else? Anyway, me and Jade have a monthly FaceTime call. She's like the only person that I FaceTime with. I think. Yeah. Oh, and JC. JC and Jade. They're the only people that I FaceTime. Exactly, Aaliyah. You hang up. No, you hang up. All right. We'll hang up at the same time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Why you ain't hang up? That type of tease, okay? Anyway, child, let's get back into the notes. Yeah, so like I was saying, Ty understands her. She listens. She says they were very flirty. And once again, I don't give a damn if Drew cheated. She was getting her lick back as far as I'm concerned, okay? Now, Drew is also saying that Ralph wanted an open relationship. I don't believe that you can be in an open relationship with somebody who is manipulative and deceitful. because I feel like it's just going to be more manipulation and more deceit. Even if you call it open, there are a lot of people in open and poly relationships that are out here cheating, that are not out here holding up their end of the bargain, not being honest. It definitely happens. So yeah, I wouldn't even trust him with that. You know what I'm saying? Ralph was intimidated by Ty, okay? Because it's just odd that Ralph cites Ty as the reason for them getting the divorce, excuse me. I don't believe that for a second. Now, I have an ex like Ralph, much like Ralph. I remember we were out at this party one time, downtown Brooklyn, and we were at some lounge. And I remember, we were dancing or whatever. And at some point he had left me and some guy was trying to dance with me. And I was like, I'm not really trying to dance with no dudes, but my man or whatever. And he was like egging it on. He was like, oh no, you could dance with other dudes. I don't care. So, I mean, I didn't want to, so I didn't, but I just found that odd, right? Anyway, I remember I was guest bartending at some place downtown one time, and I had invited like a bunch of people that I knew from online, okay? And I invited one of my homegirls. She at the time, I was just really getting to know her. Like we weren't super close or anything like that just yet. We were just like initiating a friendship at that time. But she's bi, okay? Or is she a lesbian? I don't know if I've ever seen her with a man. I know she's been with men before. It's just in the time I've known her, I've only ever seen her with women. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In any case, she was flirting with me at the bar, when I was guest bartending. We ended up taking the train ride home. Y'all, this man had the only scowl on his face. He was so mad. He was so upset. And it was the first time I'd ever seen him like that. You know what I mean? Like he was so pressed and so concerned about this girl. But he was like damn near pushing me into the arms of other men. I'm reading what y'all are saying in the chat, Carl and Jabril. Am I saying that right? Is it Jabril or Jabril? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Okay. Do we feel like Drew was hypnotized by Ralph's good looks and gaslighting? I definitely feel like she was hypnotized. Yeah. I also feel like Jabril is saying, there's like a little bit of like pick-me-ism, because I feel like that church crowd, everything is all about prioritizing finding a man, finding a husband. I gotta lock in a man. Yes, Christian, exactly. Jabril, okay, got you. Thank you, babe. Yes, I do think that religion played a really big part in how Drew chose to partner. Okay. Anyway, let me get back to my notes. Child, I be on my soapbox telling y'all my little side stories, telling y'all my business. Telling y'all my business, honey. Anyway, yeah, I was just saying that I had an ex like this, not insecure about men talking to me, but women made him very insecure. Okay. Now, Drew says that she thought she was marrying her father because he has the same birthday as Ralph. It was in this moment that I had to question whether or not Drew was well. Jabril says, give us a book, honey. Child. The book of my life would honestly be such a mess. Like I give y'all such a curated moment, you know what I mean? Like I share only what I really, really want to tell, but the details are actually really messy. It's messy, honey. Memoirs of Akeisha, honey. Insecure because he knew what you liked. Okay. Hey, sexy, sassy six. Period. Clock that T, Kevin. Bonnie's business after dark. Come on. All right, let me get back into these notes. Y'all are funny. All right. So I always find it, listen, I get it, right? That a lot of people want to be with or marry somebody who is somewhat familiar, right? So a lot of people will cite their father or cite like, oh, I want someone like my mom. I feel like that's kind of weird. It's like a little bit weird. It feels a little bit incestuous to me, y'all. Like I know she didn't mean it like that, but it just felt a little bit weird. Because here's something that I noticed, and maybe production cut something out, whatever. But did y'all notice that in the last episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Drew was talking about her mom and how she didn't say that her father passed away. She said my mother's husband passed away. She never spoke to her relationship with this man. She never spoke about how she felt about it. She only spoke to how her mother felt about it. I said, oh, okay. Now maybe something got cut out, but I just thought the framing of that was interesting, right? Because I've referred to my mom's husband as my mother's husband, and specifically not my stepfather, because I wanted to distance myself from that title. I'm not his stepdaughter, right? That is my mother's husband. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I just thought that that was such an interesting choice, right? Because I know that in the past, when I have done it, when I say that my mother's husband or my mother's ex-husband or whatever, I had my reasons for not claiming that nigga. Hello? Okay, this is a good one. She needs some self-discovery. I think she'll grow because of this divorce, and I hope that she goes to therapy so she can heal in safety. This is such an astute observation. And this is essentially what I was speaking to a little bit earlier in this live, is that Drew has no idea who she is truly. I really don't think she knows who she is as a woman. She never got a chance to self-discover. She never got a chance to become, right? Um, you know, I think about women like Drew, right? Who have been child stars, who come from a super religious background. And then I think about mothers who become young, mothers at a really young age, right? Like my mom, for example, she got pregnant with me at 19 and she had me at 20. Okay. My mom was super young when she had me. And I just feel like she never got a chance to discover and figure out the woman that she really truly wanted to be, because she was being a mother to me. And then at 27, she had my sister. I mean, my sister were 7 years apart. Okay. So much of her adult life was spent being a mother, trying to figure out how to be a mom. You know what I mean? So now it's so funny, right? Because my mom, she has such a full life. You know what I mean? She has a great career. She's dating, she's on dating apps. It's so funny. She's always telling me about, oh, I met this guy, I went on a date with this guy. It's so funny. But I love that she's really getting a chance to figure out what she likes. You know what I mean? So, shout out to all of the moms out there who were mothers at young ages and never got a chance to figure out who you were. Or maybe you just had a background, a childhood that was just so restrictive that even as an adult, it's hard to break free out of that. So I really feel for people who are put in those kinds of positions. You know what I mean? Hey, girl, can we gossip? Thank you for joining, babe. Hey, Alex. I don't know if I said hi to you, Alex, but my bad if I didn't. Hey, Miss Double R. Okay. Let me get back into my notes really quick. We got 40 minutes. I've been yapping for 40 minutes. I thought this was going to be a quickie, y'all. I didn't know that I would, you know, I didn't know I'd be yapping like this. I still got another couple of pages. All right. Hey, Diva D. Thank you for joining, babe. All right. So back to, Drew and this father comment. I thought that was really strange. I know I got a little bit off topic. But yeah. What do we know about Drew's relationship with her father? That she felt like she needed to marry her dad. And then if you got together with this man, he was your man in 3 months, and y'all were engaged at 5 months, and you were pregnant at 8, you didn't know him. You didn't know that man. You didn't even get to know him. You didn't vet him properly. And I think that this is the issue too, with a lot of women, and not just women. This is people, period, right? I know I've definitely experienced this. So, I'm not on a high horse or anything like that by any means. I've definitely been in situations where we just, for whatever reason, we hit the acceleration button, and, by the time it was too late, we were already spun out in the middle of the road because we didn't get a chance to really know each other. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes you really need to get to know a person, without sex getting involved right away. I feel like sex accelerates things. I feel like it makes it makes the environment really hectic. I feel like, now I don't see Ralph as like, oh, he's so fine or anything like that. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, okay, he's an all right looking dude. He's an attractive dude, but I don't look at him and I'm like, oh my God, he's so fine to me or anything like that. And also, he is like a meathead to me. So that makes him even less attractive. So I feel like she saw him and she felt like, oh, he's so fine. And they started having sex really fast and they got spun out really fast. Women, and just anybody, period. It's not just women. Everybody needs to have a thorough vetting process. Get to really know a person. And I'm not talking about like just a few months. Like, have you gone through 4 seasons with this person? Have you been out in different environments? Like, it's so important because I feel like we get to know people in steps and in stages, right? So they're going to show you their representative at first. They're only going to present to you the very, very best. And then at some point, that slip starts to show, right? And when the slip starts to show, shit gets real. Shit gets real, right? I have to know a lot of things about a person before I have sex with them. Nowadays, back in the day, child, it was okay. Her vetting process wasn't really all the way there, but now it's like there are a lot of things that I want to know about a person rather before we become intimate, right? And I'm talking about like in a sexual way. There's other ways to build intimacy, right? But it's so important for me to know how you are in conflict, not just with me, but with other people. How do you handle conflict? How do you talk to people out and about? There are things that come up situationally that I need to know how you respond to things. Daddy issues can go the other way too. Looks like Drew idolized her dad, maybe. That's very true. She needed to see him with his veil lifted. I agree with that, JC. Now, I'll say this. The thing about Aquarius, man, I've only dealt with a couple. I don't have that much experience, but I only have a little bit of experience with Aquarius men. I'll say this about them. They do show their asses really fast. They're going to show that ass quickly. So you can make a decision pretty early on with an Aquarius man and get out of there. You an Aquarius, Kevin Reynolds, child, you're kind. Ooh wee. Give it 3 months of talking at least. People can't pretend for that long. I think that people can, depending on the situation, people can play the long game, right? If people feel like, oh, I got, dealing with somebody, she got a little bit of money, they can manipulate for a little bit. Hey, D. Nicole. While we're talking about fathers, this is so random, but I finally got around to watching the Netflix Menendez brothers documentary, Jesus effing Christ. I have not checked that out, but I did hear about them. Maybe I'll take a peep at it. All right. I'm a Leo too, Carl. I'm a Leo too. But listen, like I was saying before, the girls need a vetting process and the girls don't be having one. So I can see how it would be very easy to be swept up off your feet by somebody like Ralph. He seems like he is very charming. He seems like he's smart and he has a gift of gab. And Cancer Gang in the building. Okay. Y'all drop y'all zodiac signs in the chat. I want to know what y'all signs are. Okay, let me get back into these notes really quick. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all. Leo was my good sexual experience. Let me tell you something. One thing Leo's going to do, we're going to put on a show, honey. Okay? Hey, Scorpio. Okay, Libra gang, Capricorn gang, Virgo, period. Okay, wait a minute. Jameer, you a Leo, boo? I did not know. Period. Yes. Okay, Sagittarius. Okay, fellow fire signs. I feel like that's why I like you. Hold on. Hold on one second, y'all. Oh my God. Okay, I got scared for a second because my StreamYard just completely, the screen just completely moved. And I didn't know if it blanked out or if it just moved, but woo, we here. All right, let me get back to these notes really quick. All right. Wow. I've been yapping for 50 minutes. 70. Back to these notes. Yeah, I said here that she addressed her father in passing in the last episode, but she referred to him as my mother's husband. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Anyway, now Drew talks about Portia putting 20 on 10 about the I can help send PJ to college comment. Now here's what Drew said about this. She said that, even Dennis said himself, like, listen, I'm trying to put PJ to college off of this music. And I think Drew was truly playing off of what he said. And she was being a little bit jokey when she said it. I really didn't think it was that serious. Okay. Now, when Carlos asked about the sleeping with Dennis rumor that Portia is trying to throw around, Drew made this face like, come on now. And I just thought that was so funny because she started going into this thing about, oh, I like fit men. Now, y'all, this is not the first time that Drew has said this. I watched the after show. I've watched every episode of the after show, so I'm all caught up. I know what's going on. I know what the ladies are saying. She said on the after show, Dennis, I like fit men. I like men with a certain physique. I said, oh, Drew is sneak reading. She's sneak reading Portia. She's saying, Portia, I have standards. Just because you don't doesn't mean that I know anything about that life. I don't date fat, bald niggas. Y'all, Drew ate that for me. She chewed that. Because from what we've seen of Drew, I don't know who else she deals with romantically, but we've seen Ty and Ralph. She ate that. She ate that for me, y'all. Let me see what else y'all are saying down in this chat, honey. That shade. Dennis is not cute, but that definitely was a read. Y'all, let me look up the name of this actor so I can tell y'all who. Drew said, I have taste, honey. Hello, get into it. Let me look at this guy so I can tell y'all who I think Dennis looks like. Donnell Rawlings. Doesn't Dennis look like Donnell Rawlings and Veggie Tales had a baby? Ashley Larry, exactly. Yes, Miss Double R. Let me pull up a picture. Like, it gives Donnell Rawlings. Ashley the Classy, baby. And let me look at Veggie Tales. Hold on. So it's giving Donnell Rawlings and Veggie Tales. I ain't shit for this. That little tomato. Don't Dennis look a little bit like that tomato? And All right, let me get back into these notes and stop playing around, child. But Drew, that was some good shade, sister. You ate that. You ate that, okay? She chewed that for me. Now, she said that Portia, that emoji, Raina, she said that Portia was brought here to give a moment that she couldn't deliver. I said, chew again, okay? When Drew said that she reached out to Portia when she was Mrs. Gubadia, but she was living her African princess life, I said, Drew is reading the girls. She said she reached out to Portia when she was Mrs. Gubadia, but she was running around living her African princess life. That was sickening. Okay, let me jump into my phone notes. Child. Drew continued. Here we go. Oh, Lord. I didn't realize, excuse me, hiccup. I didn't realize I took this many notes. And where's the lie? Somebody point to the lie about Portia. You know, I've talked about this on my review, how male-centered Portia is, and it comes through everywhere, you know, especially this season. And listen, every season that she showed up, she's very male-centered, and her life, everything about her revolves around some man, okay? You meeting up with Drew's soon-to-be ex-husband, for what reason, okay? Asking this man, has he ever sniffed a woman? Or where'd you sniff a woman at? Just crazy, inappropriate shit, right? Willing to windmill about her, you know, filming with Dennis. And y'all, we are 11, almost 12 episodes in, and we really haven't even seen that much of Dennis in the studio with Drew. So it really wasn't even that deep. It really wasn't even that serious, y'all. Portia is giving B-side, she's giving friend of, like, it doesn't give what it was supposed to give. She's supposed to be coming back to the Sweet 16 after, you know, not being a part of the show in the last season because she ran off with Simon and didn't want to come back due to the embarrassment. And then she had Portia Family Matters. Dennis, showed her up on that. He turned out to be the fan favorite, even though she tried to make him look bad. She tried to fight him. She tried to get him locked up in Mexico. She tried to fight his mother. She was throwing knives. She was throwing, clay pots and plates. And then she came back this season and gave a whole lot of nothing this time around as well. And then she wants to be shocked, that the women, I don't even feel like the women are actually trying to drive a wedge into her relationship with Shamea. I believe that it was just bound to happen. It was bound to happen. And because Portia doesn't address things head on, it's easy for somebody to slide in and give their opinion and drive a wedge somewhere. Because she doesn't address things. She doesn't hold herself accountable. She doesn't tell the truth. All she does is cry. I am personally not excited for Phaedra to come back, Carl. I know a lot of people are, but I'm going to be dragging Phaedra every chance that I get. This season is showing again how much Portia wants to control the narrative and hide her life. I have to agree. Everything is about controlling the narrative. Even when she had Dennis on her own YouTube channel, anytime he's trying to talk, she's like over talking him as he's responding. She doesn't even let him get a word out. And I'm like, wow. Wow. Anyway, y'all, let me get back into these notes, honey. Running my mouth for almost an hour. Okay. I'm almost done here. So Drew is speaking to this conversation where Shamea made Angela and Drew pinky swear on a convo that they had. She said that the friendship isn't in a place that everyone thinks it's in. And she was hurt about the wedding. She was hurt that Portia never took her out to celebrate getting a peach. And she said that Shamea was concerned about what the fans would think about her bringing those issues to the camera. Drew also still stands on Shamea being a lapdog. She's saying that she won't speak on her own truth, but she is fighting Portia's battle. She ate that. Exactly. You are absolutely a lapdog. If you are willing to meet up with this woman's soon-to-be ex-husband to do Portia's bidding, to do her dirty work, right? But you won't even tell Portia yourself that you have an issue with her. And then at the table, the issue with Angela and Shamea comes up, and then Portia starts reading Shamea about, oh no, she feels like you need to be accountable for how you act. I said, wow. So it's just like you have no backbone when it comes to this woman specifically, right? But you want to run around and do her dirty work and do her bidding. That's crazy to me. Like, who are you when you are not running interference on behalf of Portia? Like, I hate that she doesn't realize that it makes her look insane. I really hate that for her, because it's like, and here's the gag for me too, is like, Shamea says she's meeting up with this man under the guise of like, oh, he wants to talk business. Where's the business? And Drew mentioned that herself. Where's the business? Where's the podcast that you all mentioned? Nowhere to be seen. Child, let me go and look up Ralph's YouTube channel. Give me 1 second, y'all. Because I know his ass ain't monetized. This nigga is so pathetic, for real. Ralph Pittman. Ralph Pittman TV. He has 558 subscribers. And this channel was started. Okay, well, he joined a couple years ago, but let's see when he posted his first video. He posted his first video 2 months ago. And this was, let's say it was like February, March. Pathetic. You're not even monetized. And You met it with Shamea under the guise of, oh, you know, this is business. Where's the business? Where's the podcast? Wait, let me see what y'all are saying up in here. Hold on, I missed something, child. I hope Drew comes prepared this reunion because they're going to be on her and Angela, and I don't want to see her go out like no punk. I agree with that, Jabril. Listen, what is giving right now in terms of like reunion? I feel like it's going to be Angela versus everybody. Angela is going to be windmilling, and I don't know if Drew is going to be able to back her up because Drew doesn't give the fire that we really need for these kinds of situations. So, you know, you thought you was going to be standing back to back with Drew windmilling. No, you're going to be windmilling by yourself, girl. That's what it gives me. Drew has some good reads. She just struggles to read in the moment. When she interviews, she can do better. I agree with that, Christian, because she actually impressed me in this interview. And I was like, girl, I hope we get a little bit of this fire for the reunion. Okay. Let me get back to these notes. She can't, Claudia. Exactly. Anyway, Drew is saying, Portia is holding me to the line for saying that I would help PJ with college, but she's talking about effing somebody's husband. I said, wake that up. Wake that up, because can I be honest with y'all about something else too about that comment? I just feel like, you know, I saw a lot of people saying, oh, Portia was just joking. Okay, let's entertain the idea that Portia was really joking, right? I could see you joking in private with friends that you really know like that. You're joking like that in front of your coworkers, in front of Kelly. You know, I could see her joking in front of Shamea like that, excuse me, and it not really being a big deal. But to do it in front of Kelly and Brit was a little bit different, because I'm like, these are your coworkers. And even though y'all are not filming right now, you know that they can go back and tell. So it's just like, okay, you didn't care about this comment getting out. You obviously didn't care. And, you know, a person who doesn't really care about their reputation is somebody that you need to watch. I don't think it was a joke either, Coach Anil. I do believe that she meant it. No, she wasn't joking. I agree with that, Kevin. Because you don't joke like that. Wait, hold on. I missed something. Let me see what y'all saying down in here. Mother Oakley needs to come with her ear paint on. The girls will be coming for her, baby. She has to come ready. She has to come ready, y'all. There's a such thing called a track record, and Portia is outpacing Sanya Richards Ross, child. Portia's desperado behavior, as Brooke Ashley says. Shout out to Brooke Ashley. That just yuck. Anyway, all right, let me jump back into these notes really quick. Running around meeting up with people's husbands under the guise of Shamea talking about business. Clowns. Okay, her dream cast, she said, is Kenya, Nene, Sheree, Angela, Shamea as a friend of, if she had to choose. And she is still riding for Kenya. She's still riding for Kenya, y'all. Okay. Then Carlos is asking her about, you know, what famous men have you dated? I really don't like this question. I don't like asking people, wait, what's this? Click the join button and then I've never seen that. Click the join button. What happened here? It came up as a super chat, but I don't think it's a super chat. Click the join button in the description. Thank you so much, JC. Okay. What was I gonna say? Okay. I was saying that I don't really like this question about dating famous people. I don't like kissing and telling. I just don't like that. Like, personally, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. That's my free milestone chat. Oh, okay. I've never seen that before. That's like asking for a list of sneaky links. Exactly, W Pain. Like, there's something about it that I just don't resonate with, right? Like, I have dated people that if I said their names, I'm sure you would know exactly who I'm talking about. I would never say that because I just feel like it happened so long ago. And who cares? Right? I just feel like, why am I bringing up somebody that I dated 10 years ago? Even if it is a name that everybody knows, like, what? Like, I don't get this, because my thing is like, I have moved on with my life. That person has moved on with their life. And here's the other thing, right? Let's just say, for instance, Bonnie Scotch becomes like a bigger name and, whatever. I don't want no niggas jumping up to talk about, oh, I used to date her. No, you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. And don't try to pull up no pictures of me. Talk about, oh, this was us at so-and-so. No, it wasn't. That's AI. That's AI. That's a deep fake. Your Honor, I don't know who this man is. Don't claim me after the fact. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have no exes. No, nobody has ever dated me. Hello? I've got to hop out. It's past my bedtime. Great live, Bonnie Scotch gang. Oh, thank you so much, Carl. Thank you for the super chat. I'm guessing that you are somewhere, maybe, no, I don't want to say maybe in Europe, because I know like Europe is like 5 hours ahead. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I don't know where in the world you are, but good night to you. Get some rest. I really appreciate you for the super chat. Oh, I see you responding to JC. Let me see what JC said. Kind of like asking her to prove her worth with her punani. Yes, that is such a great point. Agreed, W Pain. It is intrusive. Like, what? I don't like that. Jameer says he has a habit of doing that a lot. And then when he does that, he feels satisfied getting what he wants out of his guests. I hate it. You're in the UK. Okay. You're in Europe. All right. Well, get some rest, babe. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you, my love. And thank you for being a member. Yeah, y'all. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, I'm never going to casually mention somebody that I used to date back in the day. Actually, it's a couple of names that y'all would know, because y'all know I'm a musician. Please, because listen, when I start getting a little bit of money attached to my name and whatever else, I don't want nobody jumping up to claim me. Hello? I don't got no exes. I don't have no exes. These niggas can't claim me. Hello? He loves all the girls. Exactly, W Pain. Give us some examples of who he... Christian, you're silly. You're silly. But I'm a musician. Okay, let's just put it like that. So anyway, now she says she dated Young Berg, aka Hitmaker. Alex, no, that's a Summer Walker remix. That's a Summer Walker remix. She said she dated Young Berg. I put next to it, yikes. Young Berg, aka Hitmaker. Now, I remember him from Love and Hip Hop. He has made a lot of really popular songs, but excuse me, y'all, he's a scumbag. He is a scumbag. So I don't even know why you would jump up to claim that nigga. If I had a dating history or past with Young Berg, nobody would ever know about it. I'm going to the grave with that shit. That's going to be between me, him, God, and my ancestors. The CIA couldn't get that information out of me. What? How old is he? I don't know. I don't know, Aaliyah. Child, I wept. She was going to end up in another situation. Her taste is bad. Yeah, you got bad taste, mama. If you used to date Young Berg, aka Hitmaker, and you used to date Ralph, or Ralph is your soon-to-be ex-husband, girl. Berg is with, yeah, I heard that Berg was putting Tink through it. It's like, child. I don't know why y'all let these. Yes, I'm sure he is worse than Ralph, but I'm like, I don't know why these girls let these light-skinned, Smokey Robinson-eyed niggas put them through it, girl. Anyway, y'all, let me make it through these last bit of notes, honey. Thank you so much for being here with me while I'm yapping my mouth. If those are your options, be alone. Hello? Thank you, Christian. Y'all got to save those secrets to share with your daughter on your deathbed. I need my children to be entertained after I pass on. That's so funny. Because they light skin. Exactly, Jabril. Wake that one up. Wake that up. Aaliyah, you're funny. Okay. She also said that she dated Michael B. Jordan. I don't think that Michael B. Jordan is hot. I think he has a dog face. I think he looks a little bit like a golden retriever. So I know a lot of people like him. I know a lot of people go up for him. Oh, y'all, by the way, I still haven't made it to the movie theater to see Sinners. I think I could do that this weekend because we got a long weekend, honey. Y'all, I needed a long weekend so bad, honey. I have been working so hard in my new job. I've been really pushing myself in this new position. Like, I like it. I enjoy it, but it's still a lot of work. And my clinic is, you know, backed up because they only had one person working in the clinic and now they just got me. So, you know, there's a bit of relief there, but I'm still overwhelmed. So, y'all, I'm so glad it's a long weekend. Oh, what am I going to do this weekend? I think I'm going to crochet a little bit. I'm doing, see, I be wanting to tell y'all stuff, but I can't. I be wanting to tell y'all stuff because y'all are my people and I fuck with y'all, right? But I feel like other people be watching my channel and they don't fuck with me like that and they be evil eyeing me. And, you know, sometimes you talk about things prematurely and people evil eye you and it kind of puts a hindrance on your plan. So, you know, I won't be able to share the things that I'm working on just yet, but I'm working on stuff in the background and I'm really excited to share it with y'all because y'all in the chat with me right now, y'all are my people. Like, y'all are my niggas. Okay. Yes, Jabril. I am resting. I'm resting this weekend. All right, back to the notes really quick. And then we going to jump out of here. So she dated Michael B. Jordan and Carlos said, "Oh, you do like biceps." I said, catch. So Drew, obviously, she has a type. She likes a nice physique. She likes a nice build. Listen, whenever you're ready to share, we will be here. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I find him very attractive, but it's more of a black man energy, charisma type of thing. I think the thing with me and Michael B. Jordan, I used to see it for him once upon a time, but I think sometimes people say things and I can't unhear it and it turns me off. I remember this was years and years ago, many years ago, Michael B. Jordan was online saying something like, African Americans don't have any folklore. They don't have like a certain type of culture. And I just thought it was the stupidest, most narrow-minded opinion that I had ever heard about Black American culture and history. I said, this motherfucker is truly stupid. Now, I'm sure that, he has since learned a lot about African American culture and history. I mean, he's the star of Sinners. So that goes to show you African American culture is full of folklore and rich with stories. Go look up Zora Neale Hurston. Go look up Toni Morrison. Go look up anybody, any author from, from around the way. And they are telling our stories and telling them well and preserving the culture. So I think that he's just said things that were just so off base. And I'm just like, you're not smart. You're stupid. And not only that, a couple years ago, he came out with some rum line called Juve. And I was like, why the fuck are you naming a rum line Juve? And you're like, he has nothing to do with Caribbean culture. I just feel like he just does and says stuff that I'm just like, what are you talking about? So I feel like that plays into it for me a little bit. Like when I feel like a person is stupid, I feel like they're not attractive. But in any case, y'all, let me see. I be having these side conversations with y'all. That's odd given his background and parents. You would think that he would appreciate those things most out of anybody, a Black American person. I personally feel like, Aaliyah, that Black Americans are made to feel like they don't know themselves and they don't know their culture, right? Now, my family is from the Caribbean, and I have experienced this type of division within the diaspora, right? Because I'm kind of in a unique position where I am a first generation Brooklyn child. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, right? However, my mother is from Barbados and my father is from Barbados as well. My grandmother on my maternal side and paternal side, they're both from Barbados, but my maternal great grandmother is from Trinidad, okay? Now, Black Americans have been made to feel like they don't have a culture, right? Or they don't know where they're from. However, what a lot of Black Americans don't realize is that people in the Caribbean, we were dropped off just like y'all were. So it would be fair and safe to say that if we wanted to really go down that road and that route, we don't really know who we are either. A lot of Caribbean people don't know that they were dropped off on an island from West Africa. That's the gag, right? Black people just didn't show up. They weren't just born in the Caribbean. Let me see what y'all are saying, because I feel like y'all are cutting up in the comments a little bit. People need to watch out for the men with the bodies, to be honest. If they got abs, they probably didn't get enough validation from the parental units. Just an observation, child. But anyway, I wanted to say all of that to say this. We have culture and it is rich and it is beautiful. Please rep your city, rep where you are from. And depending on the city you are from, you can absolutely trace where your people are from, right? Say for instance, like, and I'm speaking out of turn here, but for example, I think that a lot of Chicago folks have roots in Alabama and Mississippi, right? I could be misspeaking, right? Alabama and Mississippi folks have very specific roots to West Africa. There are books that illuminate this. I forget the name of it. Anyway, I'll find it and we can have a separate conversation about that on another day. But I'm saying that to say this. The same way Jamaican people can rep their flags and their culture and everything is about Jamaica, West Caribbean massive. African American people, you need to do the same. We need to be doing the same. Okay? Regional culture is so very important. I know I got sidetracked, y'all, on this Michael B. Jordan conversation, but regional culture is so important. I'm from Brooklyn. That is a very specific cultural experience. People from the Midwest, people from the South, people from Cali. That is a very specific regional mindset and culture. Regional culture absolutely deserves to be preserved. All of it is Americana. What Kendrick Lamar did at the Super Bowl was West Coast Americana. Right? But people like to see it as separate from culture for some reason. And I just feel like it is really weird and odd to make those kinds of statements about Americans and African American culture. It's just another way of creating division within the diaspora. But anyway, y'all, see, I be getting sidetracked with y'all. This is why I like talking to y'all, because I feel like we be right here. But anyway, let me let me get back to this Drew conversation, child. I just been yapping. Okay. She also let us know that she was signed to Slip and Slide Records. I haven't heard of Slip and Slide since 2002. Wasn't that like Trick Daddy? Hold on, let me look it up so I'm not talking shit. Slip and Slide Records. Who was over there? Who all was over there? Oh, I could be lying. My bad, y'all. Oh, location Miami, Florida. Yeah. Ted Lucas founded the label in 1994. Like I said, Slip and Slide signed local rapper Trick Daddy Dollars in his early years. Okay. The album included hit single Nah Nigga, Roster, F Dollar Sign De Niro, Mike Smith, Maya Fillmore, Plies, D. Mark Hunt, Sebastian Michael, Swayze, T. Nair, G Street Boys, Birthday Cake, Short Cakers. I don't know who any of these people are outside of Plies, but it probably wasn't a good idea for her to be signed to Slip and Slide Records, right? So she was signed to Slip and Slide Records, and she was also signed to Babyface, and nothing ever came of it. I said, damn, now that's a name. Babyface name definitely has respect in these streets, absolutely, still to this day. So I'm wondering what happened in the situation with Babyface and why she wasn't able to make something come of that. Hold on, I need to see what y'all are saying. Because y'all be in here having these conversations. People love to shit on Black Americans. I say that as a Jamaican immigrant here since I was 7. Exactly, JC. Scotch Gang healing the diaspora wars. I know that's right, Alex. I love it. Yes, all of the DMV is from South Carolina and Mississippi. Sometimes I feel like our grandmothers are low-key related. Here's the gag too, Coach Anil. Something that I didn't realize too. When I would hear people from like North Carolina, South Carolina speak, I'd be like, these people sound Bayesian. And then some years later, I found out that a lot of like Gullah Geechee people are from Barbados, literally. That gagged me. I was like, yo, why do they sound like Bayesians? Like, I can't describe the Bayesian accent, but it is so a little bit like this, right? So they kind of have that kind of British kind of uptick. Do y'all? Okay, that's kind of like a little bit how that Bayesian accent sounds. And North Carolina, South Carolina people, they definitely have a little bit of that Bayesian accent. So let me tell you, the way we're really like this, and there has been so much division within the diaspora, is crazy to me. Miss Bonnie, you got the Leo sign, sense of humor. It's no shade. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Preach, Bonnie. As a Senegalese American, I'm in awe of Black American culture. I love that. I am from Jamaica. Jamaica was the island that sent all of the unruly slaves. Eventually, what happened? They had an island full of rebellious slaves, and eventually they formed a rebellion. Exactly, KG. I did read about the slave rebellions in the Caribbean. It is very, very interesting. Just getting into all of the different islands. Barbados had one. The most famous one that we know about is Haiti. Jamaica definitely had it. Grenada definitely got involved. So yeah. Yes, honey. We don't name drop around here, honey. Living in Europe, they know Black people got the juice. They might be hard-headed and stupid, but they give props to talent and creativity here. Americans don't do that. Wake that up. Babyface left Tony broke and penniless. I'll never forget it, and I don't like it. Now, wait a minute. He left Tony broke and penniless? I don't know anything about that. I need to do my research clearly. I'm going to look into that because as far as I knew, Babyface and Tony are still good. Like, I thought that they still work together. Didn't they put out an album a few years ago or a single? What? Jamaica is rich with history and how the slaves. Okay, I read that. Yeah, KG also include Barbados in that and Trinidad as well for the unruly enslaved people. That's, where they were sent. Bonnie about to turn this into a genealogy channel, and I'm here for it, child. What instrument do I play? I don't play any instruments. I'm just a singer, rapper, writer. I sing and I rap and I write. Bonnie, I don't know if you could see my comment or if you skipped right over it. I'm sorry, babe. Did I? Let me go back. Hold on 1 second. The chat was moving kind of fast for a little bit there. She could have been LaFace's last effort. Oh, that's true. That's true. Hold on, Aaliyah. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not a part of the Bayhive per se, but I will always hold her, Beyonce, on a pedestal as an example of a Black American person that's maintained her culture and has always revealed it. Has always reveled in it. Okay. With the help of her family and ancestors that raised her. It's just as visceral and unique as any other culture, more so even. Absolutely. Hey, what's up? I'm on live right now. Are you about to walk poop? Yeah. All right. What happened? That's my mom, y'all. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Yes, Aaliyah. Guys, I hope you have a great night. Take care. She's about to walk our dog. Look. With my sister. Wait, let me show you something real quick. Sorry. Wait. No. Wait, I literally, Mom, I swear to God, last night I had a dream that I was, okay, y'all, a little bit of background really quick. So my mom last week, 2 weeks ago, discovered a robin's nest in front of our house. It's in the tree in front of our house. Okay, y'all. So I have been checking on this bird every day, like several times a day, to see if she had her babies. She had her babies, y'all. I swear to God, last night I had a dream about a baby chick. Wait, how do I show them? Look. They can. Oh wait, it went dark. Look, wait. Can you see it? Mom, I swear to God. Can you guys see the birds? Oh my God. I dreamt about them last night. They probably can't see them. That's not a good picture. No. Oh my God. It's 3 of them. Look. Mom, it's 3 eggs. It was 3 eggs. I know, but they all lived.
and they're really fluffy.
Mom, I had a dream about a baby chick last night.
It was
and
them.
It jumped on my shoulder, and then it was running around the house, and I was chasing it, and I was trying to figure out, but it was like running all around. And I should have known that that meant, oh my God.
They were born. We have 3 chicks.
Oh, I'm about to cry.
Don't cry.
Oh my, like I literally dreamt that last night.
Your eye.
Mom, I dreamt that last night. I don't randomly dream about like baby chicks.
You probably had them on your subconscious.
No, I was thinking about her, and I've been checking on her, and going in there, not going in the tree, but like, greeting her in the morning and saying, "Hey, Diva."
Well, I see you on the camera.
Oh, you saw me?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to walk Lulu.
Y'all, I'm about to cry. I have been checking on this bird and her robin's eggs for the past couple of weeks. I was doing my research. I was like, okay, it takes 12 to 14 days for them things to hatch, and they hatch in the order in which they were laid. I have been checking on this bird every day, several times a day, y'all. And just last night, I had a dream about a little yellow chick was running around my house, and I was chasing it around, and those eggs hatched, y'all. That's so cool. And that's what I'm saying, W Pain. Like, I was just trying to figure out, like, why. Listen, and I'm a spiritual person, so like I look at everything as a sign, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely like something's about to happen. Something big's about to happen. This bird came and had her babies in front of my house. Something big is about to happen for us. Big blessings are on the way. Something new. And she had her babies. I cannot. I probably am going to name them JC. I can't believe I really dreamt about it last night. I should have known. Oh my God. That is good luck, W Pain. That is good luck. Oh my God. That just made my day. And y'all, here's the thing too. I kept checking on the bird, on the robin, because we have a lot of cats in my neighborhood. Mom, can you send me that picture? Okay. We have a lot of cats in my neighborhood, right? So I had been going out there sprinkling cayenne pepper and red pepper flakes. We got to get some more white vinegar to spray down, but it has rained every day, damn near, for the past couple of weeks. So every time I sprinkle something or lay something down for them damn cats, it rains. So I was just praying and just hoping that, the robins, the new babies, like they would be quiet, because the cats around here are very fierce. I have seen a cat jump and catch a bird before in this neighborhood, in my yard, not literally in my yard, but in my neighbor's yard. Oh, I got so far off topic, y'all. Bonnie Scotch is not a person I thought would be checking for birds. Why? I'm a nature girl. I'm a Disney princess, low-key. You are in alignment with our higher self source. Yeah, that's how I feel too. That's how I feel. All right. Let me just round off my notes. Big blessings and good fortunes. Exactly, Desna. I'm receiving that. When I have a good or bad feeling, dream, I always journal it. Yeah, that's a good practice to have, Claudia. Y'all, I'm just so gagged that I dreamt about a baby chick last night. I should have known that meant that they were coming. Oh my God. I'm just, man. Listen, don't doubt don't doubt your, we all have gifts. We all have gifts. Okay. I definitely have the gift of sight. Okay. My spirits be giving me the tea down in these dreams. So please do not doubt your gifts. And what Claudia said about writing them down, journaling it, it is a way to make your gift stronger. Anyway, let me just round out these Drew notes. Thank y'all for being in the moment with me for that. Anyway, what else do I have here? I said that, I'm happy that Drew is getting some shine for her music finally. And Dennis was a vessel for a really beautiful album, and that I was happy that everything worked out for her. Drew is also going on tour. I'm going to check the tickets and see what that's hitting on. I definitely want to support Drew. Speaking of girls going on the road, Candace is doing a show. I don't know if it's like I think it's a play. It's a play. It's coming out in October, and I definitely want to support her as well. So I'll definitely have my ears to the streets for that and give you all a review when the time comes. Y'all, I can't stop thinking about these birds. I cannot wait to go out there and check on them. I need to see if the mom is in the nest or what she's up to. I need to go and spray down some vinegar on the lawn and just make sure that the cats are not like interested in being in that area. Like, I need to like make sure that the girls are good. Okay. I need to make sure my girls are good. Yes, I agree with you, Johnny Bravo. I agree with you. I lost the comment. Everyone is psychic. It's only a muscle, like singing. Exactly. But everybody gets it in a different way, right? Like, I have dreams. Some people, I forget what it's called. It's the clairs, right? So there's like clairaudience, claircognizance. Some people can hear, when the veil is thin. Some people can feel certain things. Some people can touch an object, or they can touch somebody's hand and pick up on certain energies and things like that. Some people get it through dreams. I get things through dreams. So yeah, we're spiritually aligned because Bonnie, I knew I was here for a reason. Yes, W Pain. Exactly. That's how I feel too. Bonnie crying thug tears like Soprano and his ducks. Yes. Yes, exactly. By the way, I love that show. And watching The Sopranos as an adult is like a completely different experience. Like, it's such a good rewatch, honestly. But yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I have been so invested in this Robin and her eggs. Like, I have been checking on her every day, like going out there to greet her, like, hey, Diva, just checking on you. Anyway, child, what else do I have here? Also, the last thing I have on my notes for Drew is what she said about Phaedra. She said that Phaedra came on in the last few weeks and she made a lot of faces. I said, ooh. Y'all, Drew be sneak reading the girls. Drew be sneak reading, and I want to see more of that come out. Now, the very last thing that I wanted to address, which is in the title, I almost forgot this, but Brit Edie did have a clap back. Let me just find it really quick. Her response to what Drew had to say, because Drew did mention Brit and her marriage being fraudulent. Let me just share the screen really quick. Hold on one second, y'all. Share screen, honey. Let's just do the entire. Yeah. All right. Check this out, y'all. So this was Brit Edie's response. Drew is the last person to be speaking on marriages when she has been going through a divorce for years. She needs to pray those court filings do not end up public instead of worrying about me. My goal has never been to destroy marriages for clout or a storyline. This show is about wives, and Drew barely fits the bill. Okay, let's go ahead and unpack that really quick. typically people do go through divorces for years. Like people don't get divorced and then it just happens wham bam boom. Like it typically can take years. So that's the first thing. This is how I know that you're a dum-dum and you don't know what you're talking about. She said that these courts, oh, excuse me, she needs to pray that these court filings do not end up public instead of worrying about me. Girl, the amount of things that have become public about you, I really don't even feel like those two compare. And I also feel like the way Brit Edie has been exposed, I feel like you should not be having a smart ass mouth towards anybody. You should be trying to make friends with all of the girls. My goal has never been to destroy marriages for clout or a storyline. Okay. Who's that implication about? Because I can't see it being about anybody outside of Shamea and Portia, to be real with y'all. Who's trying to destroy a marriage for clout? What? This show is about wives and Drew barely fits the bill. Okay, now Portia is divorced or getting divorced. Who else? Kelly is going through a divorce. The only people who are married on the show, Proper Housewives, is Brit and Angela and Shamea. So what are we saying here? Half the damn cast wouldn't even be on the show by your logic. So what are we saying? Here's the other thing about Brit that I find very interesting, right? Because you wanted to have all of this mouth for Drew, but Kelly has been dragging you in every interview that I've seen. Kelly has been dragging Brit and talking about how bad of a friend she is, talking about scam and fraud. They were on Shamea's vlog talking about dirty bitch and scamicides and fraudicides and dirty peaches and this and that. But I didn't hear Brit Edie with any lip for Shamea or Kelly, but especially Kelly. But you got mouth for Drew? I just think that you're a weak ass bitch for that. I really do think that you're weak. Drew really don't bother nobody. So that you would have all of this smoking energy for her is like, really, girl? No words, nothing for Kelly, nothing for Shamea or anybody else. I didn't even see her clapping back at Angela. Because she could have got Angela together. Angela's a very easy read because, like I said, Angela's man is the chink in her armor, unfortunately. Charles is the chink in her armor. So as long as you can go after her marriage, like you're good. Child. Exactly, KG. Everyone seems to have energy for Drew, and I don't understand it. Brit's identity is being a wife. Ma'am, have a seat. Her reads Neverland. Never. Never. At the end of the day, she was married when she came on the show. And mind you, a nice amount of the OGs for this show weren't married when they got on the show either. So girls, stop. Exactly, Aaliyah. People who capitalized for no good reason is MAGA adjacent and stressful. Good for Drew. It proves that Dennis was really her saving grace and she found an outlet through music. I'm glad that it is working out for her. Y'all, I'm still listening to Spin the Block. That's my cut. Hey, Leslie, thank you for joining, boo. I think she's staying away from Angela since she clocked her oral odometer, child. She better. Notice how Angela is constantly lifting up Charles at every moment, and Charles can't even say he did. I really hate to see it because why would I want to be in a marriage where, you know, somebody's asking my man, do you like the reason she even asked that question is because it's obvious that well, to me, that Charles don't really see it for Angela, or maybe she gets on his nerves. So the producer was asking that for reassurance. I don't want nobody asking nobody that I'm with, do they love me, for reassurance. Like, if I ever bring somebody to the forefront, it is going to be so clear and so apparent. Also, I'm a very affectionate person. So I don't know. I just tend to be with other people who are affectionate, and I'm compatible with them in that way. Like, always holding hands. Like, if we are in bed, like, there is some part of our body that is touching each other. That's kind of just how I am, you know? So I don't know. You know, I feel like the girls be with these men just to say that they have a man. Angela was, you know, asking for him, stalking him at the concierge and asking around for him. She was pressed. She was pressed, and she was seeking him out, and she got what she got, child. Hate to see it. Alex, it's giving taste, honey. It's taste. Spin the block is your favorite taste, baby. Y'all like the video for our girl. Thank you, Dina Cole. Wait, what are y'all saying in here? Y'all are so silly. I love your mommy's smile, Miss Bonnie. Oh, thank you. She has a gorgeous smile. She has perfect teeth. Like, she looked like she had braces and she never did. She has perfect teeth. You know, I wasn't blessed with that gene, unfortunately. I agree with you, Claudia. All right. I think I'm good on my notes, y'all. I think I made it through. I've been running my mouth for almost 2 hours. But y'all, I have to go check on those baby robins in front of my house. Like, I can't stop thinking about them. I'm so pressed. I need to spritz some vinegar around to make sure no cats can get to them, honey. Like, But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining. I really didn't expect this many of y'all to turn out today on a random impromptu Saturday evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. I need to figure out what I'm going to eat. And what else? What else am I doing? Oh, thank God for a long weekend. Thank you, God, for a long weekend. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for joining this live. I had a blast with y'all, okay? Thank you, Bonnie. Time well spent. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for joining. Please have an amazing weekend. Be safe out there. Eat well. Drink responsibly, okay? I love y'all so much. Oh, it's good night where y'all are at, because you already like deep into the nighttime. W Payne, mwah. Bonnie, remember not to touch the birds. The mother will kick them out. Yes, KG. I know not to touch the birds or anything like that, because I don't want my scent interfering with, you know, whatever she feel like she need to do, because I know she will reject her babies. But I'm just going to go out there and spritz. And I kind of want to just listen in to see if they're making any noise or anything like that. I was also thinking about getting like a bird feeder, like some type, like something where I can hang it and they can have like some water and some seeds. Because I was like looking up what robins eat and stuff. It's 2 a.m. Ciao. Thank you so much for being here with me. This was my wild Saturday night. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Have a great Saturday. I will see y'all for the next one. I think the next one might be me jumping on here to talk about Drag Race. I missed the last episode. The WNBA episode, it was a little bit boring for me, but we're gonna jump in and do a catch up. I might do that. I don't know if I'll do that tomorrow or Monday. Either way, y'all will see me again. Okay. God bless your baby birds. Careful of bird feeders. They attract squirrels and mice. Oh, we don't want that. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to keep y'all updated, but I love y'all. Oh, I don't watch Love Hotel, KG. I really do not like Giselle and Ashley, so I always click off the TV whenever they come around. I can't stand those two. Okay. All right, y'all. Happy Saturday. Mwah. I will see y'all for the next one. Bye.